Grand Rising Powerful Being. Today I'm going to be talking about how to set goals. Now, some of you may wonder, I got some goals for 2022 and I'm trying to get on them, but I don't really know how to set them. It seems like I'm not hitting them. So I'm going to give you some strategies on how to set goals. We're going to talk about the psychology of it. We're also going to talk about self-image, aligning your self-image to actually not just set the goals to make it happen. We're going to talk about how to structure it and section it out. So first, before we even talk about how to set goals, we're going to talk about why to set goals. Okay, it's going to be much. You have to know why to set goals before you get to the how. A lot of people, the reason why they're not enthused on setting goals is because they don't really know the effects of it. So keep tapping in with me here. Grand Rising, everybody. I see the squad here, the fam here, the tribe here. It's edtalksdaily.com. Before we begin, y'all, share this video to 5 friends and comment done. And if you're listening to the replay of this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just share it to a friend and let them know about it, okay? We're about to get it. And remember, if you leave, you could always come back because I'm about to drop some fire on you. I'm not lying. Okay. All right. So a couple of years ago, and that was a while back, my life changed when I was hearing different speakers. This is why I'm a speaker now. This is why I coach people. And they did a research with some students who left school. There was a few of them who had goals, and there was a few of them who didn't have any goals. And they found out that the people who didn't have any goals, they just had a normal 9-to-5 job, and they actually had the same kind of life with the 9-to-5 job. But the people who had goals, they actually were successful entrepreneurs, because they actually became like, I'm actually directing where I want to go rather than just going by where the ocean or the waves take me. Happy New Year. So I thought about that. I was like, So you mean to tell me there's a correlation between being successful and setting goals? So imagine if you were getting in your car, right? And you like, yo, I'm about to go to nowhere. Where are you going to end up? You're going to stay in the parking lot. Or what if you say, I'm just going to drive and no plan? You're just going to drive with no plan. You're going to wander around, right? So a lot of people, is like what Zig Ziglar says, are wandering generalities and not meaningful specific. And I know Liz would love this one. A lot of people are drifters. So reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want you to be a drifter. I want you to have specific goals where you're heading towards. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because goals will determine the outcome of your life. So why set goals? Because you're going to have a thing you can hit. The reason to set goals is because there's a destination, a direction. There's a pulling force for your life. You ever wake up and you don't feel like it? Sometimes you wake up, you don't feel like it, but it's because there's no goals you're really chasing. It's just living. Life is for living. Don't believe it. But there's excitement to life when life is for living for something. So why have a goal is because you want to have a why in life. You want to have a reason. You want to have things you want to elevate. So what goals does for you is it stretches you. It lengthens you. It causes you to work harder on certain things. And goals are not just in relation to how much money you're going to make. A goal can be for your finances as well as your emotional health, as well as your physical health, as well as your mental health. So a goal is more than just what you get. A goal is for the construction of who you become. That's one of the most things that changed my life. Was it's not what you get, it's the type of person that you become. That's what makes you more valuable. It's not what you get, it's the type of person that you become. So when you set certain goals so you can become a certain type of person, then you become qualified where you can walk in many doors and be valuable within those doors. And that causes your whole life walk to be blessed. So the type of person do you become? What type of person do you want to become? Somebody said, I want to be a peaceful person. You know, you good one. Somebody says, you know what? I want to be a understanding person. Good one. You know what? I want to be a person that people look up to and that people want to follow. That's a good one. I want to be a type of person that when I'm in a room with people, I just brighten it up. I want to be the type of person that feels good just being with myself. I want to be the type of person that people can remember. I want to be the type of mother that, so let's start with this. And this is not something I'm taking out of my head and giving to you. It's part spirit, part years of things that I've learned. So goal setting has to be deeper than I want this, is that I want to be the type of person that does this. Once you become the type of person, then those goals get implemented within your habits. This is, we're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about the habits, because that's what really causes the goals to happen. And then we're going to talk about the emotional states that can block your habits from actually causing your goal to become a reality. So keep tapping in with me, because we're going to go deep. Like I said, if you don't get to watch the whole thing, you can listen to it or come back and watch it. So ask yourself, what type of person do I want to be? Somebody said, I want to be the type of person that is in control of my financial destiny. That's right. That's the type of person I want to be. I want to be the type of person that can walk up the stairs and not be tired. I want to be the type of person that glows. I don't want my face to have wrinkles in it. What type of person do you want to be? How do you want to operate? Boom. And then the next thing is, what is it that you want in life? A man or woman cannot hit a target they did not set. You cannot go to a destination you did not set in the GPS. And the global positioning system of your life is your goal setting. The action steps is the directions that you have to take. That's the blueprint that you structure based on your goals. Okay? So, you have a blessed day, Queen. So now we want to talk about this. Okay. Where do I want to go? First is what type of person I want to be, but where do I want to go? Where do I see myself in the next 2 to 3 years? These are questions that transform my life. Don't take it lightly. In fact, you should have a notebook. You should be writing this thing down. Whether you're listening, you should write this. Where do I want to go? That's going to determine how you're going to grow. So you might say, hey, you know what? The way I see things are going, I want to sustain. I want to be the type of person that is financially responsible for my future. So I want to go towards a direction where I'm sustaining the amount of money that I'm sustaining my family on my own efforts. This is where I want to go. How can I get there? This is why we set goals. Now, these goals are not general. They have to be more specific. A lot of people just say, this is what people put as their goals, and this is why it doesn't work. They say, I'll make more money. No, it doesn't make more money. So first you want to say, where do I want to go? And then you want to ask yourself, how do I get there? Where do I want to go is the wider goal. It's a bigger goal. It's a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year lifetime goal. How do I get there are the micro goals that causes for you to get there. So let me give you an example. I want to be the type of person that walks in the room and empowers people to transform their life and live the holistic lifestyle. I want to go to a place where I'm able to empower people by speaking, by teaching, by writing books, and by doing what I do. How I get there is first by showing up and doing certain things. Based on what I've learned is how I can get there is by doing specific things every day. So I set a goal that if I want to empower people by being a speaker, then how do I get there is I need to build a brand. So now within that is other goals. So when I write down my goals, it's not just a big goal, it's a bigger goal dissected into applicable steps. And the way that you do that is you say, where is it ultimately that I want to go? And how do I grow to get there? Where ultimate do I want to go? And how do I grow to get there? So now you set rubrics for growth, and not just in one area, but many different areas. So let's say you want to grow to be more financially responsible and make more money. How do I get there? I need to save money. I probably need to make more money. I probably need to start to get a side hustle. So you're jotting down certain ideas of how you can actually change your financial future based on what you currently have. There's many ways you can do it, but it's based on where you're at right now. Yeah, that's the only place you can start from. Because I may tell you 1,000 other ways to do it. Somebody else may tell you 1,000 other ways to do it, but you got to start. You got to start where you're at. So you say, you know what? I want to be a global artist, or I want to be I want to dance all around the world, or I want to utilize my gift to empower millions of people through the speeches that I do. Yourself is, how do I get there? What do I need to do consistently for that to happen? Well, I need to put out music. Well, I need to get in front of more people and dance. I need to do A, B, C, D. So then from that point, you say, hey, how can I get in front of more people? Then you ask yourself questions like that. You ask yourself, how can I save more money? You ask yourself, how can I make more money? The how can I, then it creates certain blueprints that you could break it down to its ultimate, and then now you convert it into a smart goal. Because I don't want to confuse you, we're not going to go too deep. We're going to pick one thing. We're going to say, how can I make, we're going to start with the money. The long-term goal is, I want my family to be sustained by my efforts and not be dependent on a job. That's my main goal. Then you say, in order for me to do that, I need more sources of revenue that's not just the money I get from work. In order for me to do this, I need to actually have a savings plan. In order for me to do this, I need to actually figure a way to invest. And then once you jot down those ideas, you say, how can I invest? Then you say, I can invest by doing this. How can I save money? Then you say, how can I earn more income? The answer to that becomes the goal. So now, how can I becomes, okay, I can save more money. So you put a goal is, in 2022, my major goal is to sustain a financial future for my family where I'm not dependent upon a job, and I want to save more money into doing that. So you're going to say, okay, a SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, something, and then you can track it. I forgot the whole acronym, but it doesn't. I'll give you the overview of it. A SMART goal, specific. It has to be specific, right? So underneath save money, you can put certain things. Don't eat out. Okay, eat out less. Don't eat too much, or look at the subscriptions that I have. You're jotting down things. You're actually practical things that you notice where you waste your money at. Is it making sense? Comment a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. Comment a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. Then the specific goal, it becomes specific. Okay. I want to save $5,000 by the end of the year by saving maybe however much a month that will equate to $5,000 at the end of the year. Okay, so I want to save $5,000 and put it in my rainy day fund by saving $50 twice a week. Okay, so by December 31st, 2022, I will save $5,000 for my rainy day fund by saving $50 twice a week. That's one specific thing of saving money. Now you know you also waste money. So you're going to say, I'm setting a goal to categorize my expenses and create a budget weekly at the first of the month and stay true to that budget consistently. That's a more attainable goal that is looking at two facets of the situation. First, how to save the money by accumulating money so you can have a rainy day fund. Second, how to save money by not wasting the money. And then third goal is, how do I make more money? You see, we're asking questions. How do I? So now you say, how do I make more money? You say, okay, by the end of the year, I want to have a couple of side hustles. So my goal is to drive Uber maybe 10 hours a week, or maybe 20, 30 hours a week in addition to my job. That's one way I can make more money. It's specific now. He says, okay, what is another way I can make more money? Oh, you know what? I know how to make bead necklaces. How about I make some bead necklaces and I can... So you say, this year, this is part of my goal. So when you're jotting down your goal, don't just focus on what you want. Focus on what you want on the basis of where you want to go, and then ask yourself, how do I get there? And how do I get there becomes the major goals. Because then you have the big goal, the big, hairy, audacious goal, but it's really the micro goals that's going to get you to the big, hairy, audacious goals. So now, aside from just the goal setting alone, you have to become the type of person that can achieve that goal. So you have to also put stuff for your mindset. How are you going to train yourself? How are you going to be conscious? Now, that's why when I write down my goals, they're not a page. They're not 2-page. They're really like 10 pages. If I have 10 goals, it's going to be 10 pages with the major goal, with other little subcategories of it. So I have major goal 1, major goal 2, major goal 3. This is the major goal. This is how I get there. And this is the type of person I have to be to achieve it. So you're going to say the type of person I have to be to achieve my financial goal is I need to be disciplined in the decisions that I make. The type of person that I have to be I have to be frugal with my spending. So this is the type of person. So now every day you need to hardwire that. One major way to hardwire it is to listen to things. That's going to keep working on your mindset. You can also listen to yourself. You can record this stuff and you could then go ahead and re-listen to it so you can make it happen. You want to put your goal in front of you as much times as possible. It'll cause you to become the type of person that does it. So part of goals is not just writing it down, putting it in your book and hiding it away. It's writing it down, putting it everywhere, plaster it everywhere so you can see it, so you're always reminded of, this is my goal. This is where I'm growing to be. This is my goal. This is where I'm growing towards. Growing. You don't go towards the goal. You have to grow to it. For instance, there are levels that I'm hitting. I can't go towards it. Unless I grow, I'm not going to be able to sustain the goal. So unless you grow to sustain the goal, you might as well not even write it down. And unless you have the goals right in front of your face and you consistently bring them up each week and break it down into smaller pieces, it's not going to happen. So let's take the budgeting aspect, for example. I said to save money and also make more money. So now we're going to take that and put it in the first week, and it says, okay, what I'm going to do is, to be the type of person that saves money, I need to track my expenses. So at the end of each day, a habit that I'm going to have is I'm going to look at where did I spend my money at. In fact, I'm going to use mint.com to create a budget and track the money that I spend. I'm going to see the categories, and then tomorrow I'm going to actively avoid those things that cause me to spend more money. So you're like, okay, I'm noticing that at night I smoke a bunch of weed and I go out and eat a bunch of food. I felt bad about it the next day. So that night, you got to make a decision that, oh, I can't smoke a bunch of weed and then go to the restaurant because I make bad decisions. So now you change the habit of that, or you change the habit of the drinking. We're going really deep, y'all, because a lot of times you think that I can't achieve the goal because of this. No, the goal is not being achieved because you're not growing to be the type of person that can achieve the goal. And the type of person that can achieve the goal is a disciplined person. And to discipline yourself, you have to see what you did wrong. Like a parent, why you did that wrong? You got to see it for yourself, not with blame or shame, but with retrospection for change. It's not like, oh, I'm blaming, I did it wrong. No, it's like, oh, you could do better. Work on that. So now what goals do for you is it keeps you aligned with something. But better than a goal is a vision and the determination of the type of person that you're going to be. That sustains it more. What happens is you make a decision, I want this, I want that, but you didn't make a decision to be this or to be this. No, wanting this and wanting that is pulling, is desire, wish. It could be wishful thinking too. But when you become the type of person that created, it's much different. Okay, let's take fitness for example. It's the beginning of the year. I want to make sure I'm not confusing everybody. If this is making sense, comment 1 in the chat. So let's say one of your major goals is to lose weight. Now, to make a goal to lose 40 pounds by changing the way I eat, by moving 3 to 4 times a week, and by releasing my emotions so that I don't overeat, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next 3 to 6 months. Boom, boom, boom. And it's very attainable, but I can do it. That's a nice little goal there. But you know what's happening with that? It's just so bland. It's lose 30 pounds. It's not pulling enough. The why is not enough. So you need to put some fire in it. That's a nice little goal there. But you said the reason why I want to do this is because I want to be able to live another 10, 15 years for my kids. That's going to get you up and moving. You know what? I want to get up the stairs. I don't want to have to walk from my car to the store and I'm running out of breath. You know what? I want to, when I walk and when I go to the store, I can find my size. It's a different pull. I hope you're getting this. It's a different pull when it's deeper than the goal. The goal has to be deeper than the goal. And then also you have to make a determination that you're going to be the type of person that lives a holistic lifestyle. That's what causes it to happen. Because you're like, yo, okay, you know what? Yes, I want to lose 30 pounds by doing this, by doing that. This is why I want to do it. However, the type of person that will achieve that is a healthy person. So you say, I'm going to have a healthier mindset about it. So this healthy mindset goes in your routine. It goes in your habits. It goes into what you decide that you're going to read and watch and listen to. What you're going to decide to accept from yourself. So then you can create yourself some commandments, some values. So what causes your goal to happen is not the goal itself, it's not the why guy, but it's the values. It's what you value that causes the goal to happen. So if you created a list of 10 values and you match the values with the goals, the chances of you achieving the goals will be more. So what do I mean by that? A value for me is integrity. Integrity, I do what I say I'm going to do because I gave my word. I'm integrating what I say and what I do. That's my integrity. I put that, I record it, I listen to it every single day. What does that do for you? It keeps you in alignment with your goal without even specifying the goal. Because your goal could have been be a better person or be more a better business person with customers. I want to be on the same page as my customers, or I don't want to be like wishy-washy with the people. That's a goal. That's not a good goal, but it's a goal, right? It's better that you live by the value of the goal than just by trying to attain it. Okay, Let me give you another example, and hopefully it makes sense. So you're like, okay, my goal is to lose weight. The value that I put towards my body is that my body is a temple, and I don't put trash in it. You will achieve more goal. That mentality is way deeper than what you want. Because now it's not a push. A lot of people have to push themselves towards their goal, but you're pulled towards it when it's part of your value. You know how like you about to date somebody and you're like, man, they don't align with my value. Now what your goal do is it creates a filtration system that diminishes your temptations, because you X out things before they come in. It's like this. If I have a value that I treasure in my body and I know that meat and dairy and all these things do bad to it, then guess what? I don't have to like push myself. No meat, no dairy. It's more of like I'm pulled towards it, and when I slack off, it's like, no, get on point. Do right by your value. And it's not one of those shame and blame things. Don't shame and blame yourself out of bad habits. It does not work. I figured it out. Shame and blame does not help you. Only thing that helps you is taking responsibility and then having the ability to respond to it. I couldn't, and then now it's like, I messed up. Now you stay in your mess. The mess will stay in your face once you say, I'm the mess. Once you realize that mess is mess happens, but you make a decision that I'm going to tidy up the mess. And that needs to be done as quick as possible. The faster you can do that, the faster you will achieve your goals. I'm not even lying to you. But what brings this all together though? I'm about to tell you. And this is not stuff I'm making up. This is science. It's your power of belief in what you see about yourself, your vision, and your ability to carry out the goal. Somebody call it psycho-cybernetics. Go read that book. So I created something called a vision statement. So a vision statement is your goal 10x. So it's not just you place where you want to go or how you want to grow. A vision statement is what do you see unfolding for your life. So it's the year 2023 and my life is completely inspiring, motivational, and spiritual. I became the embodiment of a person of a great success. That's my vision statement. That's how it starts. I literally detailed out my life in 5 years. So 5 years ago, I had a vision statement. Crazy. And I'm actually, it's unfolding. The vision statement, what you do is you write a vision statement. It's like a descriptive essay. Some people will hear it and be like, that sounds nice, and don't do it. But if you do it, it will transform your life because it transformed mine. So what the vision statement does is it creates a belief in you. Every day by listening to it, you see your life unfolding. So where are you living? Like once I wrote about my wife. I'm like, my wife and I were living by the beach in a 2-story home with a gym in the backyard with the Qigong Zen Mr. Miyagi spot and a beautifully designed garden. Right? And then we're working together to help people build themselves and build their brands. That's my vision for my communion with the queen of my life, right? I see us traveling the world and empowering people all around the world, right? So I put out my vision, I made it clear. Not only did I put out my vision, I made it clear, I recorded the vision and I put it in my mind right when I wake up at 5 a.m. Now, whatever time you wake up, your mind is going to be in a theta state. What happens is if you listen to it before and go to sleep and right when you awake, you're going to start to almost like automatically do stuff towards the vision. So your life becomes the creation of the vision as you implant it into your mind, your subconscious, which programs it. It's really deep stuff. So what the vision does is it builds a strong belief that people are like, how do you see this? I don't see it in front of you. But you're like, you don't have to see it. I see it inside of me every single day. You don't have to see my goal because I am the goal. I am legit every single day acting towards creating it, and it's the evolution of it is happening. So I talked about a vision statement, which creates the vision. Make it plain, make it visual. Don't just say you gotta say how you see it. You gotta talk about the infrastructure of the place, how people feel when they walk up to you, like all that stuff. Put it in it. How are you? How are you conversing? Are you relaxed? All those things, put it in there, and not just what you want to get. Family, look at all areas. So for the people who just came in, I'm going to also say some other things. So we got the vision statement, but we also have not just the vision statement, the values. Unless you match your values, look, somebody says, my vision is to help people heal, but your value is to shit on people. Not gonna happen. I know shit helps plants grow, but shitting on people is not gonna help them heal. So that's why some people, like, they want to do one thing, but the character has not matched with their desire. So what value does, it matches your character with your desire. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've had so much values that I write down and I listen to them, because my values are then now going to match the value with. The thing is, if there's an imbalance, then you're not going to become the type of person that does it. Your values makes you the type of person. Somebody said, like, yo, how did you get into this? Well, I just became the type of person like that. And then it became to the habits. So we have a vision, we got values, and based on what you value determines your habits. Vision, value, habits. So you're like, what habits do I need to adopt and build? I just posted a video. I said, you don't want to destroy destructive habits. You want to build constructive habits. So most people, they're out to destroy their shadow parts. They're not willing to step in the light. They're like, man, you know what? I need to stop answering. I'm going to say this like that you up text. Because these niggas ain't... Or the guy says, man, I need to stop giving these toxic females all my money. Look, that's not going to happen unless you change your value. Unless you start to value yourself. No, you got to say, I'm the type of person that values my body as a temple, and then nothing just comes in. Pun intended. 21 plus. But it's like your values will work better than just what you want. Get what I'm saying? So when you set better values, it goes way deeper. Then those creates a certain habits. So now you're like, how do I create those habits? That's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. Queen says habit and vibration. Your habits have a lot to do with your vibration. Basically, in fact, thank you, Impressive Ites, for putting that. Y'all check her out real, because she got some of those gourmet foods, man. Man, they look real good, real good. But anyways, give you a quick little promo shout out. Shout out to some of the people, Karis. Shout out to my cousin in here. Shout out to Liz. Shout out to y'all though. Shout out to who else? Earth and Water, and shout out to Noah Crane. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all. Healers in the building. We're in the work together. I just wanted to give y'all a shout out. But I was going to say this. Look, based on your habits is going to determine your vibration. And based on your values is going to determine whether or not you change your habit to raise your vibration. Can I say that again? Based on your habit is going to determine your vibration. And based on your values is going to determine whether you change your habit to raise your vibration. Now, I've had days where I need some love in my life. I need some love. I need some love. So I'm like, candy, sweet, sweet, sweet. And I wake up the next day, I'm like, I feel shitty. And my value system says, I don't want to feel like this. My vibration is off. So I'm like, you know what? I need to change my habits to change my vibration. So now what I do is I take a habit of, what's that tea out there? Cerasee. And I took some passion flower and I made some tea. And now I'm like, I feel a little bit better. But I'm redirecting my life to raise my vibration because I'm changing my habits because of my values. Now, if you want life to change, you have to change, is what I heard from Jim Rohn 1,020 times when I was going through real tough times. I listened to a lot of speakers, and I've adopted a lot of quotes and philosophies and ways of communication, actually, that's very useful to today. But I kept hearing this one thing, and everything hits different as you grow, by the way. This same episode is going to hit different a year later. It's going to hit different 2 years later. But anyways, it was like, if you have to change, if you want life to change, you have to change. She said it just like that. If you want life to get better, you got to get better. And I'm like, what you mean by that? If I want life to change, I have to change. If I want life to get better, I got to get better. So I found out that means that the quality of your life is on the quality of your dedication to your self-growth. That got me on a new path. I was like, oh, I'm doing it all wrong. I'm just looking for strategies. How do I? But I wasn't saying, how do I become the type of person that, when I started asking myself that question, I started to adopt better things. I started to refine more character. Like, little things meant more to me than the big things. Soft skills meant more to me than being hard. Like, being on the same page mean more to me than being right. I started to say, oh, if I want life to change, I got to change. I can't keep sabotaging myself. If I want life to change, my habits have to change. If I want life to change, the way I see things have to change. If I want my life to change, I got to change the way I eat. If I want life to change, I got to change the way I communicate. If I want life to, I got to change unlearning. It takes a determined effort towards your growth and development. I cannot fathom. Listen, somebody says, yo, I like what you put out. I love your energy. And how do you, I'm the type of person, it's like, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about growing. I'm in a conversation and I'm seeing where I need to work on that a little bit. And, I say, okay, I got to work on it. This is on the forefront of my mind. I am actively focusing on being a better person every single day. I don't miss a day. And actually, what I found out, I prime myself to be this way because every single day I start my day off with a certain energy of growth and development. I've been doing this for 3 to 4 years. A lot of people don't realize that if you want life to get better, you got to get better. But if you want to get better, your routine have to get better. That's the secret. Because you don't happen you happen within certain routines. And it's either you subconsciously routinely go through life, or you consciously create your life with your routine. I like that. That's a nice quote. It's either you subconsciously routinely go through life, or you consciously create your life with your routine. Somebody says routine, ritual, what do you mean? Well, listen, it's either you a wandering generality or a meaningful specific. That's what Zig Ziglar says. Or Napoleon Hill says it's either you drift or you have a definiteness of purpose. I say it's either you stay in the dark or you come into the light and you become the being that creates your life rather than the being that suffers it. A lot of people are not creating their life. They're suffering the life that sleeping created. I don't want you to sleepwalk through life. It does not work because it's dreadful. So you want to be conscious. So how do you be conscious? Wake up intentionally and do certain things. I just gave you my entire blueprint for free. I said it. I said I got goals, I got journals, I got movement. But I listen to certain things every day. My vision statement, where I want to grow to. My habit, my values list. I called it my 10 personal commandments. And then I review my habits and my goals. And then I do something called Rise and Prime. I've always done Rise and Prime alone, but a year ago I started it and I allowed other people to join me. So basically, I do mindful movement, mental health check-in, and personal development. So mindful movement, what that does is it takes any negative energy you slept with or woke up with, you need to get that sucker out your body. Okay? And negative energy is as it sounds. Energy is, now emotions is pretty much what is it? Energy and motion. So let's say negative energy are a lot to do with the emotional states. And what happens is emotional states gets housed in your muscle tissues, causes blocks in your meridians and energy system. And that causes you feeling a certain way. So if you do certain exercises, you could release those emotional states, which gets you in a positive mind frame. Now, you don't need to just get rid of those from your body or transmute them, should I say, for a better word. But you need to put in. So this is how you feed your mind and unconscious. By watching this, you're actually doing it, and you're doing it really well, because this is more holistic. It's not looking at one aspect. I'm looking at many different ones. So this is a good way. Ed Talks Daily is a good way to do it. Your own voice is a good way to do it. A lot of other people is a good way to do it, but it's very effective to listen. Switch your music, change your music to audiobooks and personal development, motivation, podcasts, and your life is going to change. I can guarantee you. I've studied enough people to notice that that's what really they do. But anyways, so now you got to put stuff in. How do I need to grow to become the type of person to achieve my goal? How do I need to grow to become the type of person to achieve my goal? So I'm such a great student, and allow me to give myself some kudos, that I created myself a study guide. See, people don't like it when you give yourself kudos. I created a study guide for myself. And this study guide is, this is how I want to help the world, so this is how I need to grow to be able to help the world. So there was a time when I needed to learn more about psychology and physiology and all these things. So I put it in my study guide, and I made it an intention focus to work on those things. So I did that, and it started to work for me. And I didn't really realize that a little each day creates so much connections, neural connections in your brain, that I thought I had to memorize the stuff I was learning until I became them. I thought I had to memorize wisdom until I became it. And what I mean by that is, I thought I needed to memorize all these pieces of information when I needed to actually put enough in to reveal all of it. So when you learn stuff, it's not necessarily to adopt this philosophy as yours forever, but to evolve your philosophy to the point where you are tapped into everything. But anyways, you do learn mindful movement, personal development, and then there's other thing called affirmations. Now, these affirmations will make your goal become a reality, but unless you learn, you won't know how to affirm. Because a lot of people just affirm what they want, but they don't affirm who they need to become based on what they see. Okay, so what I do and how I help people is I help them recognize some stuff they might not notice. They might say, oh man, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. I don't know why. I want to change it. But what I can do is I can say, I can see why this is happening. Here's the mindset behind it. Maybe there's some self-doubt here. So now when you're making your affirmation, you want to make it in a way that combats the self-doubt each day, or combats the fear, or combats the worry, or combats. So what I mean is, your affirmation is actually not just creating it, but it's like, if you know you're fearful, then you have to say, I am courageous. If you know that you care about what other people think so much that you're not acting on it, then you say, I am acting on what I want to do regardless of what other people think. But unless you do the work to know that, then you can't affirm that way. And what happens is it's not as powerful, because then you're doing cookie cutter affirmations. Cookie cutter affirmations only cuts the cookie. Okay, I don't know what that means, but anyways, I was trying to make a cool quote. But what I was saying is, you want to affirm yourself out of your limiting beliefs. You want to affirm yourself out of certain emotional states. And the way to affirm yourself out of it is to know it's happening. And that is why you have to check in, mental health check-in. You have to check in and know what's happening. And the more you grow, the more tools you have to check in. So the most important thing you can do to set goals and to achieve them is to grow. Your goals will grow as you grow. You're going to have bigger and better goals as you get bigger and better. If you want life to change, you have to change. If you want life to get better, you have to get better. If you want to have bigger and better goals, you got to become better. Okay? So that's pretty much the podcast for today. If y'all want to tap into this way of developing new habits that's going to help you get closer to your goals, listen to me. Just go to Rise and Prime. In fact, go to the holisticlifestyletribe.com, holisticlifestyletribe.com, and join the community, the tribe, where I talk about these various things. We actually implement the Qigong, the movement, the breathing. We implement the affirmations. We have workshops like this. And now this year, during the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, what's happening is I'm going to talk to you how to brand, how to market, how to create content, how to create systems. So it's not just the how to build yourself, but how to build your brand. Okay, so it's going to be how to build your brand and how to build yourself holistically. So we're going to look at two aspects. So it's going to be super, super useful. Okay, so you don't want to miss out on the opportunity. So y'all make sure you go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and join the community, and you're going to be able to get access to game changers, healers, and teachers, holistic wellness practitioners. That is the vision, wellness entrepreneurs who are on the path of growing their brand, empowering millions of people. Okay, and you're going to get access to a daily rising Zoom call at 7 a.m. Specialty workshops. You're going to get access to a seasonal detox that we do every season. And you're going to get 2 coaching calls, 15 minutes every week with me. Like, the value is tremendous. And besides that, you're going to have a community of powerful beings that shares their story, their insights, and that in itself, it's a value in its own. So you're not just going to get things from me, you're getting things from the entire community. That's what that's what the tribe is about. Liz is one of my major motivators. Karis is always motivating. So, and we got Noah in the chat right here. Oh, y'all already know what this is. So I guess I preach it to the choir. But for those of you listening now or later, tap in, okay? Tap into to the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe and just try to show up consistently, because we're growing to another level, and let's grow together. That's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. I want to remind you that you have the unlimited power to create the life that you want, but first you're going to have to be the type of person that can create it. Until you become the type of person that can create that life that you want by matching your values with your vision, and then and having specific habits that matches with your values, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I'm out of here. Peace.